I actually preferred the Lakewood reading because I didn't know anybody in the room besides two people, but it's nice to play to a familiar crowd too. So yeah, this is what I do. I randomly do improv in public libraries in my spare time. Like Alex said, my name's Deena. I'm probably going to ask a little bit about you guys. I want you to know I'm not a asshole comedian, so I won't be jerks to any of you. So if I ask the audience a question, don't fear I'm going to mock you, or if I do mock you, it's in a very lovingly way. And so I just want to start off, because this is a relationship book reading-esque thing. Is there anyone who is single in the room tonight? If you're single, raise your hand. Okay, so if two of you at some point, it could be guy, girl, girl, can get together at this book reading, it would make a really interesting sequel for Alex to be like two people shacked up for my first book reading. So I highly encourage, if you can once more raise your hands, and then you can look at each other, if you can look around. I know some of you I'm willing to make recommendations or tell you who to avoid. Either way is fine. So I'm very honored, as always, for Alex to ask me to come out here and get stuff going. At the Lakewood book reading, we talked about what president we most think would be likely to be a good bang. So if you have any weigh in on that sort of, Obama won by a lot. But there were some Clinton fans in the House, and if anyone feels they're not being represented and wants to throw out a bush, which sounds like a weird term for the whole conversation, feel free to throw it out. Also, in case you're wondering, the night is not PG. Because I'll be talking, and also Jimmy's thing has just a ton of fucks in it. So, which I'm excited to read. So it's all very good. Does anyone willing here to talk about a bad breakup experience they've had? It could be even just one sentence, like a guy dumped me, you know, in the middle of a mall, while I just bought him a sweater. I don't know what it would be, but anything. Yes?
My college boyfriend dumped me like an old shoe when he got into Harvard Law School because he couldn't focus on law school and have a relationship at the same time. So.
You know that's a plot to Legally Blonde.
Right. When I saw that movie.
So did you sell it? Is that, are you Reese? No? Okay. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, well, that is very good and sad, because what I'm deciding is that he obviously is a dick, and you're the good person. We all know that. You're a room full of people who all at the same time are thinking, what a dick. It's like meditative therapy, all in the same, like some people go, we've got, what a dick. Let's all say it together, what a dick. See, doesn't that feel good? See, it's only probably 5 times. I don't want to say any years later, because I don't want you to think I'm judging your age, but probably like 10 years later, we'll say, for that sort of thing. Does anyone else have any sort of relationship? And I'd like to hear from a guy who got broken up, so it's not just 50-50, some girl who was a douche to you. Can girls be douches? Yeah, it's not just a guy thing, girls can be. I didn't know if the word itself. Does anyone have any guy have an experience, and don't feel like you're losing machismo to say it? No. All right, so none of the guys have ever been broken up with. No? Okay, so good to know. All these guys are impenetrable, which I just went to penetrate. It always goes bad. I don't even try. It just goes right to that sort of thing. It always goes back to shtupping at the end of the night. That's what Alex said, the best Yiddish word there is, shtupping. So very good. Well, I'm really excited you guys are all here. I've got to say, I am surprised actually that there are the man-woman ratio, and I'm kind of thinking maybe men thought it was a good place to score, like a scored diary reading, like you're going to get a lot of lonely, broken women who are willing to give it up. Like Lilith Fair. This is the book reading version of Lilith Fair. It's just a bunch of, what was that? Yoga, is that what, because you're already moving, you know the bendable ones. So you're like, well, she can move. Yeah. So I didn't even ever think of picking up. I went to yoga class for the first time actually, and I chose the easiest level, which in case you're wondering is all people who are geriatric or pregnant. And I was the least flexible person in the room, which was unfortunate. This woman was 9 months pregnant, and she was doing downward dog, and I was like, that's gonna hurt the baby. And I didn't want to hurt my baby that doesn't exist, so I didn't do it. Because that's what I've learned, that's what's made me a good worker-outer this year, is I've learned you don't have to do anything they tell you to do. It's getting to the class itself. So, and that's much like being in a improvised book reading setting. You don't have to do anything I ask, but I'd still like to hear a guy tell a bad breakup story. Any other women have an unfortunate breakup that they'd like to share? No, only you. I'm sorry. And I'm also glad that we had this moment and that you were brave enough to share your breakup. It was, wasn't it? It's good. It's good. It's good. I would share my bad breakup, but I've only had one relationship in my entire life. And I'm not even still in that relationship, but it was very amicable, so I'm very boring. Is what I'm saying, is that Alex asked me to host, yet I have the least relationship experience of any of you. So,
All right, I'll share.
Oh, yay! Yes.
I had a guy break up with me who I was living with, and he kicked me out of the apartment, and a year and a half later, I married him.
Oh! See, and so wait, so I've met the dude before, and I wouldn't have guessed this plot line. So I want to know how, if you don't mind, how it got reversed, how it wound up, like he kicked you out of the apartment, and then was he like, I'm an ass because you're really good? Is that how it changed?
Well, it wasn't quite that easy. I
But
had
now
a
he knows
phase
it.
plan. My friends were a little worried about me. I'm like, oh no, we're meant to be together. It's just, we
Wait,
gotta be
a what
apart.
plan?
A phase plan.
Oh, a face, I heard face plan. I was like, that's
Face plan.
pre-Facebook. I didn't know what it was.
Phase one.
Okay,
It was
okay.
kind of like, it was a long time ago, but he was like going to start to realize, and then he was going to want me back, but I was going to say no. Then phase two, I was going to like give a little, da-da-da, but anyway, so.
Did you act this out with two Barbies, like a Barbie and a Ken? Like,
I role played it out a lot. to
take
the
me
point that
back,
my
Carrie.
friends were
No
really
crying.
worried about
Oh,
me.
yeah.
They were like,
And see, you were right. So we could say, take that,
but I made him
friends.
work for it, because.
That's good, as you should. We're all worth being worked for.